Opo, I
But this-
apologize po.
Yeah, thank you for that apology. Now, this will be your last warning. Please refrain from lawyering or palusot for not telling the truth, or else the next time that you will commit that violation in this committee, I will never hesitate to cite you in contempt. Ipapakulong kita dito.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
So, I find it a little bit disturbing na, coming from a Filipino na, I mean, of all things that can come from a fellow Filipino, yung hindi pa natin pagmamalasakitan yung kapwa Pilipino. Yun, medyo, maring hindi tayo magkaisa sa mga political positions natin. Kasi lang kung Pilipinas na ang pinag-uusapan, dapat no questions asked. Isang bansa lang, isang bandila lang tayong lahat. Anyway, Comsec, can you just post a photo? I just wanted to get clarification on this. Yeah, can you zoom into the photo? Yeah. Can I address my questions to Ms. Trixie Angeles Cruz? Is she present? Oh, there. Okay,
Baliktad po,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair. It's Trixie Cruz Angeles.
Huh?
Trixie Cruz Angeles, sir.
Oh, okay. Trixie Cruz Angeles. Okay. Familiar po ba kayo sa National Radio and Television Administration or NRTA ng China?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And you are fully aware that they do conduct training programs for media practitioners mula sa iba't ibang bansa?
Yes.
At dito po sa larawan, pwede niyo po ba ibahagi sa komitiba kung sino-sino po ang nandito sa larawan?
Medyo malabo po, malayo po yung, kung maaari pong lakihan para makita ko.
Okay. Yeah.
Yan, malinaw na.
Hindi, kasi dito malinaw. Pwede lumapit na siya.
Pwede naman po kayo lumapit dito, Miss Angeles.
Saan ba yan? Anong plan?
I can name some of them. Hindi ko na po maalala yung pangalan ng iba kasi it's been some time at hindi po kami magkakakilala lahat nung pumunta kami. So ang naaalala ko lang iyan si Miss Pia Morato who was speaking for the group. She's in front. Tuturo ko ba?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Si Tio Moreno, myself. He was there as a journalist and I think an information officer. He's also, I understand he's a blogger. Mr. Mark Lopez and Attorney Ahmed Paglinawan. But the others, hindi ko na po maalala yung pangalan nila.
Mr. Mark Lopez.
Si Mark Lopez dyan.
Behind me.
Nakasalamin.
Yes, sir.
And who else, ma'am?
I don't remember the names of the others.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can you more or less tell us, Ms. Cruz, when was this seminar, where and when was it held?
in China on May 23rd to June 5th, 2023.
So 2023.
Yes, sir.
So, again, what dates?
May 23rd to June 5th, 2023.
So, ilang araw po kayo sa China, Miss Cruz?
May 23rd. Mahina po ako sa math, but from May 23rd to June 5th, I assume that's about roughly about 12 days.
12 days? So,
More
more
or
or less
less, sir.
around 2 weeks?
More or less,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this seminar, was it sponsored or did you have to pay for your seminar fees?
This was sponsored.
So, ang nagbayad po nito ay yung state of China,
Yes, sir.
China government. Ang nagbayad sa inyo,
Yes, sir.
sa travel ninyo, sa stay ninyo, at sa seminar. Okay. Paano po ba kayo naimbitahan para maging bahagi ng seminar?
Through the Chinese embassy.
Through the Chinese embassy. Pinili po kayo ng Chinese embassy.
They conduct these regularly, I understand. There are others who are also invited from the mainstream media. Pero hindi po kami magkasabay that time. So, I understand that this is conducted regularly. I think yearly. I'm not sure though.
So it is a state-funded program by China where they invite media practitioners such as yourself. Am I correct?
I think this is one of those times where they've invited vloggers.
Okay, vloggers, yes. And can you more or less share with us what was the nature of the seminar?
Oh, they introduced new techniques in social media, such as short-form social media, how to take them. A lot of them were technical, emerging issues, but they also gave a background on China. And I'm sorry, that's all that I can recall.
Okay. So, more or less, kulang-kulang isang linggo po kayo doon, no? Maayos
Dalawa
naman po ang
Kulang-kulang ng 2 linggo.
Kulang-kulang na 2 linggo, sorry. Maayos naman po ang pagtrato sa inyo ng bansang China habang nandun kayo. Maganda yung hotel, maganda yung
Hindi
accommodations.
po siya hotel.
Oh, it wasn't a hotel.
Hindi po hotel, dorm po.
Dorm. Okay. So was this the first time that your group participated in such a seminar?
I don't know about your group, sir.
Oh, sorry. I mean the group that you were with.
Ngayon ko lang po sila nakasabay.
So you've been there before?
Yes, sir. There is a cultural exchange agreement between China and the Philippines since 1970s.
Okay.
I was in Xi'an for an archaeological seminar, part of our cultural exchange agreement because I'm an archaeologist.
So, si Mr. Mark Lopez, kayo po ay naging bahagi din ng seminar, tama? Oo. Naka-ilang bisita na po kayo o naka-ilang seminar na po kayo dito sa state-funded activity ng China?
Sir, yan lang po yung na-attendan ko po.
Again?
Yan lang po ang na-attendan ko.
Ito lang po yung nadaluhan ninyo? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, pa-correct lang po. Yung punta ko sa Xi'an was a conference on
okay.
cultural property.
Would you think that the seminar that you attended affected your perspective or the work that you do?
Ako po o si Mr. Mark Lopez?
Kayo
Myself?
po, Miss Cruz. Kasi yun naman
No.
po yung layunin ng mga seminars, di ba? Para mas palawakin ang inyong pag-unawa, mas pagalingin kayo sa trabaho na ginagampanan ninyo. So sa
Pagdating
palagay niyo po ba nakatulong ang mga seminars na ito sa trabahong ginagampanan ninyo?
abogado po ako at ang isang dalubhasa, I think, sa cultural conservation. So yung seminar, it includes a history of China, which also includes an understanding of the area. Matagal ko na pong napag-aralan yon. So medyo, yung iba doon, ulit na. Pero ang bago ay yung short form, yung pagturo nila ng short form type of video. which is a technical, parang technical na seminar yon, na tinuturuan kung paano gumamit ng ibang mga platforms at yung pagturo ng appreciation ng short form. Ang short form po, yun po yung mga reels, yung mga TikTok, at saka yung 1-minute videos ng YouTube.
Okay. At I'm sure yung na-gain ninyo at napakinabangan po ninyong additional knowledge is the same with those of those other participants in the seminar. Am I true to understand that, Mr. Lopez? Am I correct to understand that?
Mr. Chair, yung akin pong takeaway doon po sa seminar na yun is that it's just an appreciation po of how China media works.
Okay. And from the other participants in today's hearing, were there other individuals there? Kayo po. Okay. Hindi ko po kasi kayo nakilala sa litrato. Sino po kayo? Have you taken your oath?
No, sir, because I was not part of the list that you called, and I did not get an invitation personally. But I came here because I was issued a show cause order for the past hearing that I could not attend because I was in Davao City, in Tagum City, and I came here just to submit that and be with my partner. My partner is Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles. We are Luminous, the Facebook page and the YouTube page.
So you mentioned that you're partners?
Law partners, and also on the blog, sir, on the Facebook and YouTube page.
So abogado po kayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So kayo po ay nandun din po sa seminar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ano pong pangalan nila?
Ahmed Paglinawan.
Okay. Thank you very much. So anyway, that's all I have to ask, Mr. Chair. No? So thank you very much. At least inamin po ng ating resource persons na nakinabang po sila doon sa state-sponsored seminar. Mas naintindihan nila yung paggamit ng mga reels, ng mga threads, ng mga short videos. Ang pakiusap ko lang, sana itong dagdag kakayahan na naibahagi po nila sa inyo ay magamit nyo po para sa kapakinabangan ng bansang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. The next interpolator will be Representative Sia Jong. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Mr. Chair, I'd just like to know, are we still joined by NBI? Is NBI here? NBI? Thank you. Mr. Chair, I just want to know the current state of our laws regulating the spread of fake news, because there have been a lot of discussions earlier regarding the fake news and misinformation and disinformation. I just want to know what are the laws that have been implemented insofar as countering the proliferation of malinformation, disinformation, and if there are gaps within, if there are gaps in the implementation of our laws, or if there be sort of short-handed pagdating doon sa pag-implementa ng batas, or if there's really a need to probably, Mr. Chair, to introduce some measures so that we can close the gaps. I'm sure, and based on the previous hearings, Mr. Chair, I understand that medyo this is a new frontier. I think this is a new area of concern, itong online. There has to be some sort of an additional measures or mechanism to regulate, anything, or regulate the social media. Mukhang yun ang hindi pa natin nabubigyan ng pansin. So gusto ko lang po malaman from the NBI, and partially these questions have already been answered or been asked, I think, last hearing to the NBI, but just want to go back to some few salient features that we want to find out from NBI on how they deal with misinformation, disinformation. So gusto ko lang po matanong, when it comes to investigating cyber crimes, is NBI the lead agency, or do you have other agencies involved in that?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. I am Special Investigator Anthony Alfred Vita from the Technical Intelligence Division of the NBI. My chief, Sir Attorney Raimundo, had to go to the Supreme Court for another engagement. Aside from the NBI, sir, the PNP, we also coordinate with the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group and also the ICT and the NTC.
So which agency is the lead agency when it comes to investigating cyber crimes, filing for the necessary charges? Is it the NBI? Halimbawa, kung ako'y biktima ako ng isang fake news, no? Kung magpapa-investigate ako, magpa-file ako, sa NBI ba ako pupunta or pwede ako pumunta sa ibang agencies?
Yes po.
NBI lang ba may primary mandate to investigate?
Mr. Chair, you can also go to, complainants can also go to the Philippine National Police. With the NBI, they can file their complaint with our cybercrime division.
So when it comes to investigation, it's the NBI. The NBI is the lead agency, no? Am I correct?
We have, it is one of our primary jurisdictions, Mr. Chair. Our director is the vice chair also of the CICC.
When it involves cybercrime bites, information that is proliferated online, I'm asking if is NBI the lead agency kasi para po klaro na hindi gusto ko lang po malaman walang overlapping of mandates dito ng may agency. That's why I'm asking you straight a question. Is the NBI the lead agency when it comes to investigating cyber crimes?
We coordinate with the ACG, okay. Sir. Yes.
Okay. Sige. So, yung sabi kasi ni Director Husilos yung CICC, is it CICC still under the DICT or NBI?
It's under the ICT.
Under the
Mr.
DICT.
Chair.
So is it a DICT? Is this a council that you do regularly meet? Or do you also do some investigative work?
Mr. Chair,
or do you delegate the investigation to NBI?
With regards po to CICC, nagkakandak po sila ng regular meeting.
So you don't do investigative
with
work. It's more of like a council. You coordinate and you come up with policies, di ba?
Yes po, sa part po ng CICC. Now, what we do po sa CICC ngayon is they accept yung mga complaint po nung
I know, but yeah. So sino po talaga yung nag-investigate? That's why I'm asking first that basic question. Sinong nag-investigate among all these agencies involved in the issue of cybercrime? Who actually is the lead agency to investigate?
For now po kasi ganito ang nagiging situations. CICC accept complaints about cybercrime. Then, ang ginagawa po nila, they collect all the informations pertaining po doon sa complaint. And then, ini-endorse po nila sa PNP ECG.
Ano po?
PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group po. Doon nila ini-endorse. There are some cases naman po, ini-endorse din doon sa NBI.
Okay, sige. So ibig sabihin, agencies can be investigated, or a case can be investigated simultaneously by different agencies?
Parang ganun po. There are cases po na dinidiretso na sa PNP or sa NBI. Okay. May cases naman po na dinadaan din sa CICC.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So, gusto ko lang balikan kong NBI, if I may, Mr. Chair. Ano po yung mga karaniwang mga iniimbestigan nyo covering cybercrime? Included ba ito yung mga fake news or misinformation na sinasabi? Is it itong mga fake news na pinag-uusapan natin, can they already be considered as a cybercrime, or unless there's really a charges filed for a certain individual for it to become a crime?
Mr. Chair, we are with the Technical Intelligence Division.
Yeah. Sino?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, yung regular attendee kasi si Attorney Ang Ruben of Cybercrime is in the field right now. So, hindi po kami...
Pero this is just a regular guidelines on how you do investigation. I'm just asking you the policy of of NBI. Can say, for example, itong mga sinasabi nating fake news, can that also be qualified or categorized under a crime, cybercrime, for example, and can already be investigated? Yun lang gusto ko malaman.
In some cases, Mr. Chair, yes. Like, for example, it's, let's say, cyber libel. It can be investigated by our cybercrime.
Yeah, but if there's, for example, there's no actual charges that has been filed. Kanina nakita nyo po yung ano, no, yung mga pinapakita nila ng mga short videos sa TikTok na wala naman actual na nag-investigate, but we know that the implication of that really is, if not being handled, civil unrest, the very least, disturbance in the streets, di ba? So, for example, there's no actual person that has filed, or even the agency concerned has not filed the case. Can you do then some investigation without even an actual file? Can that be considered as a cybercrime, categorized cyber, even if without a filing of a certain specific charges?
Mr. Chair, usually there's a complainant to start off the
Ibig sabihin,
investigation.
there's no preventive measure for the NBI to determine whether such videos that come out and online is criminal in nature or not?
Normally, Mr. Chair, there has
What
to
if
be a
yung
complaint.
sinasabi nila na mga tao na nagsasabing may nag-resign na mga police men, tapos hindi pala siya totoo? So, I mean, if you ask me, that is the intent of that really is to, to provoke emotions, incite a certain degree of emotion, so that they would see some sort of unrest in the streets. And it's not really inviting a healthy discussion based on facts and truth, but it's merely to really incite certain emotions, to galvanize a certain support group base. And of course, yun ang nagiging trend. So would that constitute for you under the NBI or the DICT? Have you discussed that there will be some sort of a definition for any agency to at least do proactive investigation so that things might not happen and repeat again? Let me ask you, DICT.
Mr. Chair, in terms po with DICT, sa amin po sa Cybersecurity Bureau, ang ginagawa po namin is we do monitoring. Especially po pag may mga recent incident or it's a matter of national issues po. Nagkakandak po kami ng monitoring kasi we know for the fact na may mga following instruction po sa amin to conduct certain, to gather informations po doon sa pag ganon.
Okay. Mr. Chair, may I ask NBI? Ganito na lang. Paraphrase ko na lang ang tanong ko. Kailan nagiging cybercrime ang fake news?
Mr. Chair, for example po, pagka medyo libelous na siya, sir. Pag libelous na siya.
Including the pagpapalaganap, ha? Oo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Pagka pinalaganap po, Mr. Chair, then it becomes
So,
through...
so pagpapalaganap doon.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Can you at least give me some existing laws, for example, na po pwedeng sabihin natin na pagpapalaganap ng fake news ay apart from cyber libel, no? Ay po pwedeng ma-fall under the certain violation of a certain law. May alam po ba kayo, NBI or DICT, yung pagpapalaganap ng fake news? Meron tayong kasi ang minimin natin sa cyber libel, di ba? Article 355 ng sa Revised Penal Code.
Mr. Chair.
Tama po? And RA 10175. What other laws that may be, maybe can be violated by the spread of fake news? Or yes, apart from yung cyber libel?
I'm not a lawyer po, pero...
Sinong pwedeng magtanong? Mr. Chair, may I ask anybody from our partner agencies? Yes, PNP, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
The Article 154 of the revised penal code, the unlawful use of means of publication and unlawful utterances, Mr. Chair. And the Article 287, the unjust vexation of the RPC as well, Mr. Chair. In relation to Section 6 of the 10175, Mr. Chair.
So which actually, Mr. Chair, itong sinasabing disinformation and public disorder when fake news tends to cause panic, violence, or public harm, does this also fall under cyber libel, Article 5355 of the revised penal code? Do you have an exact provision in there that says when you are causing public unrest, civil unrest, or public disorder, one can be charged with cybercrime?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we can also file cyber libel as well.
Kasi ito eh. Actually nandun sa RPAC siya eh, 'di ba? Unlawful use of means of publication, etc. Article 154,
Yes, Mr.
diba?
Chair.
So there's already that legal basis for the PNP and NBI to do some investigation, even if there's no actual filing of a case.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, we do have what we call monitoring or cyber patrolling. And once one of these is libelous or it tantamount to national security, we usually ask for preservation order.
So, how many cases have you already filed in that nature? Yung mga fake news na or mga nagpapalaganap na causing disorder, na wala naman talagang legal basis or verified na information na meron, halimbawa, merong 154 na mga policemen na nag-resign because of their disgust over the arrest of the former president, and that's why there's a quite number of policemen who are willing to to throw away their badges as a sign of protest. Hindi pala totoo. But that, in a way, really caused some civil unrest to some extent. But under this law, you can already file cases for them, against them.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but we usually nagdi-depend kami sa if there is a complainant. But in the event that there is an absence of the complainant, we usually.
But can the agency, the PNP, for example, be the complainant in this case? Can you file? Can you clear? Kasi gusto ko po maintindihan kung what are the gaps and the loopholes in our laws para po magkaroon tayo ng mas maganda na batas pagdating sa pagka-counter nitong mga hindi tamang mga impormasyon. Yes, PNP.
Yes, sir. If I may, sir. I am Police Lieutenant Colonel Anacleto Daliba. I am the Assistant Chief of the Legal Affairs Division of the PNP Cybercrime Group. Mr. Chair, to answer the question, sir, I would like first to establish that there are basically two cybercrimes under Republic Act 10175.
Okay.
The first one is what we call the cybercrime per se, or under Section 4. These are the, let's say, core cybercrimes. But we also have Section 6 of Republic Act 10175. These are basically crimes committed in violation of the Revised Penal Code or other special laws in relation to Section 6. Ito yung, sir, these are the crimes wherein the perpetrators use IT equipment. Let's say you use a cell phone, you use a computer in perpetrating a crime. Let's say, for example, stapa. Or in this case, sir, libel under Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6, sir. Iba pa po yan dun sa cyber libel na tinatawag naman natin under Section 4 of the RA 10175. Now, pertaining to fake news, for example, we have Article 154 of the Revised Penal Code, which is what we call unlawful utterances or unlawful news. Ito, sir, yung spread, unlawful or fake news, technically. But this is perpetrated as a violation of Article 154 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of the Anti-Cybercrime Act. The process of investigation, sir, is that there is a need for a complainant to to file a formal complaint for investigation before us, so that we could docket that for investigation. And then we will be applying for what we call a warrant to disclose computer data. This warrant is akin to an ordinary warrant. Well, we go to court, we ask the court to issue a warrant, and then the court now will issue a warrant authorizing the PNP-ACG or the NBI, as the case may be, to order a service provider to give information regarding...
Yeah, but Mr. Chair, sorry to cut the story short po. So, ibig sabihin, essentially, meron po kayong kapangyarihan to file charges?
Yes, sir, but that is initiated through a complainant, officially docketed for investigation.
Okay, so if there's no actual complainant, the PNP cannot do anything about that?
Unfortunately, sir, we could request for a possible takedown, but it will now depend on the platform or the social media company, for example, Facebook.
No, I'm talking about you filing for charges for further investigation.
Yes,
for example, diba, I have cited to you a specific provision in the law,
yes,
and you have concurred that there was indeed, and sinabi mo, you have categorized, there are two classes where you can actually file for a cyber libel. Specific law on the matter of spreading false information that causes civil unrest, public disturbance, etc. Diba? And so that's why I'm asking PNP. In this case, you're very much, not only the PNP, but any law enforcement agencies are very much involved in this, for example, in the possible filing of the crime, because you would be the, ang respondent yung pero kayo yung interested party dito kasi we're talking of the collective safety of the country
Yes, Mr. Chair. However, sir, with regard to the procedure of the National Prosecution Service, they will be looking for a complainant who will be under oath, will be subscribing a complaint. So
Okay.
that's our limitation, sir, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Now, what about, Mr. Chair, what about po yung those Filipino citizens who have been propagating fake news but are operating or being settled in the other countries? Do you also have that jurisdiction over them?
Pursuant to, again, sir, RA 10175, when a crime is committed, even if it is beyond the physical territorial jurisdiction of the country, as long as any of the elements of the crime or the devices used can still be located here, for example, the damage, we can investigate. Unfortunately, sir, Mr. Chair, we still need a proper complainant to file a complaint so that we could docket it for official investigation, sir, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin, kasi what you're saying, Mr. Chair, what you're telling me, what you're sharing to this committee is Article 2 of the Revised Penal Code, no? Concept of territoriality, diba? That there are certain, halimbawa, yung sinabi mo kanina, that there is also some exemption under the general rules. Kasi sabi nila, the criminal laws of the Philippines are only applicable within Philippine territory except when allowed by treaty, committed on Philippine ship or airplane, crimes against Philippine currency, obligation, and securities, importance of the products mentioned. Number 3, those committed by public officials and employees in excess of their function, those committed against national security and law of nation and law in order. Tama po ba?
We may use that, sir. However, sir, as of right now, we are only using Republic Act 10175.
What's that? Is that the
Anti-Cybercrime Act of 2000?
So that gives you also the power to investigate those who are living outside of the country na halimbawa, vlogger siya, masyado siyang politically enticed masyado, tapos kung ano-ano lang pinagsasabi sa vlog niya, ng mga fake news na unverified facts, tapos nagkukos siya ng in fact, minumura pa nga niya yung ibang politician, naggrabe yung excessive profanity, na may mga vloggers talaga na gano'n, it's too much for my liking, not just because I'm a Muslim, I'm a conservative, but as a human being, I cannot stand the profanity being expressed in their vlogs. Pero mga Pilipino sila, but they're living abroad. Can they still be subjected to the ones that you're saying? Can they still be subjected for investigation or filing of possible charges?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The PNP-ACG can still
So how do you
investigate.
manage to do that? What other partners do you do in terms of further investigation since they are not living within the Philippine territory? Do you also do partnership with the platforms, social media platforms that they've been using?
Sir, mainly, sir, we have strict coordination with other government agencies, just like the DOJ, OOC, sir, and the CICC. We have governmental mechanisms. However, sir, again, one of the challenges is that we need...
Please tell me the challenges para alam po namin ano
Yes,
yung paano yung pupunuan namin dito.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will be needing subscribed documents. We will be needing affidavits. And of course, an affidavit should be subscribed before an authorized person in the country, or if accepted in, let's say, Philippine Embassy. That's another, in an embassy, in a Philippine embassy located outside the country. If, of course, again, sir, in coordination with the DOJ.
So kaya nga, what other agencies do you coordinate? Do you do this PNP alone, or is it the NBI? Who's the proper agency tama yung tanong ko po kanina. Sino pong mag-iimbestiga doon? PNP, or do you do joint efforts?
Mr. Chair, under the law, it's the NBI or the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group who can conduct investigations, Mr. Chair.
So which one is actually the lead agency? Saan ako pupunta? Halimbawa, sa mga ordinary na tao? Either way, either of the agencies?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, are you aware also, Mr. Chair, aware po ba kayo din na in other countries, when they do also investigation in terms of this, information digitally transmitted to, online, meron silang tinatawag na let me check ha, meron parang fingerprinting din meron din silang digital fingerprinting Kasi I want to know the technology that we have right now in trying to find out kung paano natin mag-conduct ng investigation. Ano yung mga plataforma tinitingnan natin? Do you also request for the local internet service providers, social media platforms, apart from that, yung mga online transactions? How do you do investigation when it comes to cyber libel or the spread of fake news? Ano po yung mga ginagamit ninyong tools para po to further the investigation? Because we want to know exactly how can we cop up our technology and our effort, our law enforcement agency to really use the digital world in order to respond well to the cases or cases of fake news, proliferation of fake news. So, ano pang ginagamit natin dito sa NBI? NBI, let me ask NBI this time.
Mr. Chair.
Are you not competent to answer these questions?
Usually it's our cybercrime, Mr. Chair.
Where is he?
He's in the field, Mr. Chair. May operation po sila.
PNP. Kasi sabi mo, ORE. Or PNP.
Mr. Chair, the primary tools given to us by the law, of course, is Republic Act 10175. It is considered as an investigative tool, and also it's
I'm asking about the ways and methods by which you conduct your investigation.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
In relation to that, there is this thing we call the rules on cybercrime warrants, wherein we are authorized by procedure to conduct investigations. These are our investigative tools. Pertaining to the specific devices or equipment, Mr. Chair, we apologize that we cannot divulge the specific types of equipment.
But can you at least
we have
guarantee this committee that you are at par with the other gadgets being used by our neighbors, or for example in the ASEAN? Halimbawa, just to counter the spread of hindi lang actually fake news dito, Mr. Chair, kasi dito sa national security concern din natin, di ba? They've been also using online in the digital world. In fact, there's a thing called the third generation warfare. And we experienced that during the 2017 in Marawi, where they actually recruited foreign fighters to come here, and then they transmit that the transmission of funds for their operation. Gumagamit na rin sila ng technology. That's why I'm asking you, not only fake news, but how can we, for example, correlate this with the issue of WPS? Now, it's really disheartening to hear one citizen here in this room saying that, since mag-wartan ka nun, so patas lang, so Di dapat tayo maging neutral, kumbaga. But can you help me out, at least understand and guarantee to this committee that you are capable of really running after these fake news peddlers and these people who are really worthy of being charged of cyber crimes? That they are not only destroying the reputation of an individual, but they are causing civil unrest. And even to a point of citing sedition and calling the people to turn away from their governments.
Yes, Mr. With the indulgence, Mr. Chair, of our Deputy Director, we can say that the PNP-ACG is capable and we have the necessary equipment to conduct the appropriate investigations, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let me go to, since may medyo technical kasi yung mga tanong ko, Mr. Chair, let me go to how do you, I don't know if pwede NPI or PNP. Pwede nyo ba i-detalye sa amin kung paano yung proseso? How do you actually manage to identify fake accounts? Yung mga sinasabing troll farms, di ba? Usong-uso niya ngayon eh. Ang dami ng mga troll farms ngayon eh. Mga troll farm networks dito sa Pilipinas. These are not organic users. These are paid by, in fact, si Major General Torre, nabiktima din ng fake news eh. Tapos pinuntahan niya actually yung inaresto nila, tapos troll farm pala. Kasi they're spreading malicious information about a certain individual. How do you counter this? I mean, this is a problem, ha? Ito mga troll farms, ito yung mga fake accounts.
Sir,
PNP.
Mr. Chair, sir, with your indulgence, pwede ba, sir, bigyan na lang namin sa inyo, sir?
Why, can you not, is that a classified information, Mr. Chair? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I agree with our colleagues in the PNP because it might reveal the gaps in our.
Are you sure, or you do not have anything to share to this committee?
Oh, we have, sir.
You have. Are you in the form of a what? A report?
Mr. Chair, I have with me documents here, which we can give to the committee, Mr. Chair.
So including doon, ay connect ko lang doon sa tanong ko kanina na may mga abroad, Filipinos abroad. Do you also do some IP analysis and yung mga VPN analysis, yung geolocational tags, etc.,
Yes,
specification determination analysis?
Yes,
Do you also do have that technology?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so you cannot just divulge it out in the open.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Is that what you're telling this committee?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Salamat kayo kasi nagpa-fasting ako. Ayaw kong magtanong. Gutom na rin ako eh. Mr. Chair, I have a few questions I'd like to ask pero they're not competent daw eh kasi wala daw yung mga na-director nila sa But I hope, Mr. Chair, by next time, do we have a follow-up hearing, Mr. Chair?
Yes, I will announce the date of the next hearing.
I hope NBI and the PNP can send us their their personnel or their staff who are competent to answer technical issues. Kasi hindi lang natin pinag-uusapan yung abstract ng usapan na ito, na when to file, bakit kailangan mag-file. We're also looking at your capacity to run after these criminals and how we can help you capacitate your agency so that we won't have any person saying na pumunta kayo doon kasi nagkagulo doon at ganito-ganyan, tapos magmumura sila sa gagamitin ng platform para magmumura para silang mga walang nanay at mga walang sister at walang mga daughters. Sumusobra minsan, Mr. Chair, yung kanilang mga bunganga. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, NBI, PNP.
Thank you, Representative Sia Adjong. The next interpolator will be Representative Ernesto Junicio. You now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If the COMSEC could show the photo shown earlier regarding the Palawan issue. Mr. Chair, requesting the COMSEC again to show the photo, the fake news that being shown that the Palawan is owned by China issue, sir.
COMSEC, please present the video or photos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, sususugan ko po yung sinabi kanina ni Congressman Rog regarding this particular post na kumalat sa Facebook. I was about to ask our PCO representative, unfortunately he's not here anymore, Secretary J. Ruiz. And also I would want to ask sana si Ms. Pichi Paderna regarding the exposure of these false statements on TikTok. Unfortunately, also, wala yung Facebook dito sa atin, Mr. Chair. I really hope that in the next hearing, they will be present and to be given a chance to ask si Ma'am Pichi Paderna. Your Honor, ito talagang mga photos, ito nakakabahala eh. Si Sir Tarella kanina, nagsalita na rin regarding this. This directly undermines the very sovereignty of our country, Mr. Chair, distorts perception both locally and internationally. At this juncture, Mr. Chair, since wala na po yung tatanungan natin from PCSO and from TikTok, siguro I'd like to take the opportunity to ask some of our vloggers, since kayo naman po ang ating mga bisita. Siguro if I may start, Mr. Chair, baka pwede nating tanungin each vloggers, ano pong opinion nyo dito sa lumabas na statement na to, yung kiniklaim ng China that Palawan is not part of our country, but rather part of China. Kung maaari ko pong marinig yung opinion lang ng each vloggers, if I may, anyone can answer at this point.
Mr. Chair, I am not familiar with this issue that is presented in the screen about that story saying that Palawan is being claimed by China.
Just to give further light, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, Palawan, ito nakalagay po doon sa caption eh, Palawan Island, formerly known as Zhenghe Island, was once the homeland of Ming Dynasty. It was always been developed by China government and Chinese. It has nothing to do with South Fei. Even Luzon Island was also homeland of China in early years. Ito masakit dito, Mr. Chair. One day, it must return to China. Doon ako nababagabag, at least sa amin with the district I'm representing, sa amin po sa Tondo, Maynila, there's no Batang Tondo who would ever support these claims eh. Now, since we are here, we're all Filipinos, especially the vloggers eh, nakikita ko yung fire sa mga puso ninyo eh. How you post na talagang galing sa sarili ninyong, you know, emotions eh. I just want to know, since we're all here, ma'am and sirs, no? Ano po ang opinion nyo dito? Are you for or against such statements that China is claiming that Palawan, specifically, is part of China? Anyone can answer po.
Yes, Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mark Gamboa. Yan.
Please answer the question.
Yan. Ako po, as a vlogger din po, and someone who loves this country, I strongly condemn yung pong mga propaganda na lumalabas na yan. Ang Palawan po ay sa Pilipinas, ang mga taga-Palawan po ay mga Pilipino, sa atin po yan, at kahit na anong mga fake news na lumalabas po, na sinasabi na ang Palawan ay one day ibabalik sa China, yan po ay dapat tuligsain at dapat po pigilan. At sa akin po, sa aming mga vloggers, kahit na magkakaiba kami ng sinusuportahan ng mga politiko, lahat naman po yan Pilipino eh. Sana po, maski dito man lang sa issue na to, na sinasabi na ang Palawan ay parte ng China, ay magkaisa kami. At sabay-sabay po naming ikondena yung pong lumalabas na mga pictures na yan, na ang Palawan ay teritoryo po at posibleng ibalik po sa China. Sana doon man lang po, sa aming mga kasamang mga vloggers, kahit ikaw ay sumusuporta kay Duterte, kay Marcos, kay Aquino, kahit sino pa. Pero sana po, pagdating sa issue ng ating soberanya, ng ating teritoryo, magkaisa po tayo. Ang Palawan ay sa Pilipinas at hindi po sa China. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm Dr. Richard Mata. Actually, isa sa advocacy ko po yung i-detect yung mga fake news. Kasi ang daming mga chismis, even celebrities, and this is one. Kasi ito po yung ginagawa ng ibang vloggers na para dumami po yung kanilang followers. If you create a statement na shocking, madaming magfa-follow sa'yo. So, I made a list of that, but one thing is you have to check the other news outlet like Inquirer, ABS-CBN, etc. Kung ganito kalaki yung news na yan, dapat lumabas din dito sa ibang media. Kung hindi naman lumabas, malaki talagang chance na fake news yan. So dapat wag mong i-share. So naging automatic kasi dahil very extravagant yung claim, nag-share siya, nagva-viral siya. So again, it's still for me a fake news. Of course, Palawan is for Philippines only, forever.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair? Ay, sorry. Aaron Peña, Old School Pinoy. Sir, kami, magkakaiba man kami ng sinusuportahan, ulitin ko nga yung sinabi niya. Pagdating sa bayan natin, hindi pwedeng agawin kung ano yung sa atin. Hindi po kami magtatraidor sa bayan. Hindi po kami makabagong makapili. Ang Pilipinas ay sa Pilipino. Hindi po natin dapat ito ibigay kahit kanino. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir. Any further?
Sir, permission to answer. Aside from the obvious, which everyone is, supports the Philippines, sir, kasi bata pa lang ang social media sa Philippines. So I believe that you really want to learn about how social media works. So I think, sir, we should also realize that there is what you call among different camps social media warfare. And one type of social media warfare is you sabotage the other camp by pretending to be that camp. For example, I am pro-BBM. I will write something that's anti-BBM, even if I'm pro-BBM, to make myself seem like fake news. I really believe, sir, na you believe that we should really understand how social media
Ma'am, I'm
works.
sorry to cut you, Mama. I'm sorry. But I do understand what you're trying to say.
Yes, sir.
But the simple question is, do you believe that Palawan is part of our country and not of another nation? Yun lang po yung tanong ko. I just want to hear the sentiments of the vloggers since nandito po tayo ngayon, ma'am.
My apologies, sir. Yeah, of course, sir. Of course.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone
thank you.
else?
Natural po. Siyempre, tulad ng sabi ko kanina sa opening statement, dapat ipinapagtanggol natin ang ating bansa sa mapayapa at tamang pamamaraan. At tulad din ni Dr. Richard Mata, sabi nga niya, ito po ay fake news. Kaya hindi po ako nagre-react masyado sa ganito, except that you asked for our opinion.
Thank you, ma'am. Sino pa po? Baka meron lang. I just wanna hear.
Dr. Ethel Pineda.
Yes, ma'am.
That's obviously false. Anyone who went through school and who attended history classes would right away know that that is preposterous.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir.
Sir, Palawan is definitely within Philippine territory as defined. So, mali po yung news na yan. And it doesn't even come from a reliable source. So, ay definitely po na masasabi na fake news po yan.
Thank you, sir. Sino pa? Meron pa po?
I just want to clear out, lahat po tayo dito ay pro-Filipino. It's just that magkakaiba tayo ng values, magkakaiba tayo ng approach. While others want aggressive approach, ako po ang gusto ko, friend to all, enemy to none, because I saw the result from the previous administration. So lahat tayo gusto natin ng magandang Pilipinas kasi hindi ako titira dito kung ayoko ng Pilipinas. Pangalawa, I won't say na fake news yan or anything sa ngayon because this is how I process information.
Again, sir, is Palawan part of Philippines or not?
Of
Para
course,
sa inyo po.
it's already accepted internationally.
Sa inyo lang, sir.
Yes po.
Okay, sir, thank you. Other vloggers po.
It's a fact that it is a
anyone
part
else,
of
sir?
the Philippines.
Anyone? Gusto ko lang mabilis lang. I want to drive at a point. I just want to hear your opinion, ma'am, sir, with all due respect. Yes, sir?
Sir, I am not under oath. I will swear to you now. Okay, I am a lawyer. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and this is part of the Constitution, so I never give that any attention at all.
So, sir, you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay na po tayo. Now, the point that I just want to drive at, the passion, yung mga efforts ng mga vloggers natin, siguro we should channel it to something very important dun sa sovereignty ng ating bansa. Siguro if we hear some news like this, na may nakita tayo, like sabi ni Sir Mark Gambo, na isang vlogger din, I think we should do something about this. You have followings eh. Marami pong naniniwala sa inyo. I think I mean, it's unsolicited advice. Baka it's good that we could write something about this para po sa ating bansa. Well, that's my opinion. And again, Mr. Chair, I would want to know sana with Facebook and TikTok, gaya ng sinabi ni Ma'am Pichi Paderna kanina, na meron silang automatic na hindi pa nire-report 99% out of the 4 million plus posts that has been taken down. Natitake down nila. I want to know kung yung mga ganitong klaseng posts kasama ba sa mga pinagbabawal ng platform nila. Again, Mr. Chair, and sa ating mga vloggers, thank you for being here and thank you for supporting our country. Like what President Bongbong said, na not a single inch of our country will be given. We will fight for our country. At ako naniniwala, at least for sa mga batang Tondo na nire-represent ko, walang kahit isang batang Tondo na magkakalulo sa bansa natin. And I thank you. Let's all join together and let's fight for our country. Gaya nila Sir Tariela. Again, thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you, Representative
Mr.
Dionisio. The next interpolator will be Representative Romeo Acop. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's too late already in the day. My substantive or substantial questions will be asked in the next hearing. Pero meron lang po akong i-clarify. May I ask from Madam Kiambao Reyes? Is
Your
she
Honor?
still around?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you. A perusal of your blogs. Palagi mong nilalagay sa iyong mga blogs na this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Tapos, defend free speech and note to bullies. Would that be true?
Nasinulat ko po yun.
Yes.
Is it true na sinulat
In
ko
your
po yun?
blogs, nakita ko yung mga nakalagay sa blog mo. It's either this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution at saka defend free speech and no to bullies.
Your Honor.
Would that be true?
Your Honor, una po, wala po akong blog, so that's just my personal Facebook account. And yes, nilalagay ko po yun, yung disclaimer na yan, kasi nga po, medyo sensitive po ngayon tayo sa mga ganyang post, di ba? So I have to remind the readers also that these are just opinions, these are just reactions, it's no news, and our free speech is protected by our Constitution.
Mr. Chair, simple lang po naman yung tanong ko eh.
Ano po yun, Your Honor?
Ang tanong ko lang naman po pwedeng sagutin ng totoo.
Yes.
Kasi ang tanong ko lang kung lahat sa iyong post may nilalagay ka na this post is protected by Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Constitution at saka defend free speech at saka no to bullies. Yes or no?
No,
Yun lang
sir.
po, I do not need an explanation.
Sir, no, sir. Not all, but most of my posts, may nakalagay pong ganon. Lately, ha? Lately po, ganon. Pero sometimes ay nakakalimutan kong ilagay yon. But as much as possible, nilalagay ko po because that's also advice din ng mga kaibigan kong abogado.
Yes. May I know what Article 3, Section 4 of the 1987 Constitution all about?
It's about free speech, sir.
And would you know, Madam Kiambao, that free speech is not absolute?
I understand, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your
Mabuti.
Honor.
Now, matanong ko po ba, no to bullies, who are you referring to?
Marami po talagang bullies din sa online at
Sino po
marami
yung
po.
nagbubully sa inyo? O ikaw ang nambubuli?
Marami po kasi, sir, may mga vloggers sa kabilang side, yung mga kontra sa aming mga opinion na binubuli rin po kami,
Like
pinagpo-post ng kung ano-ano. Gusto niyo, pwede pong banggitin yung mga pangalan nila?
Like who nga po?
Apo. Like si Yung sina Rene Astudillo, Labandera,
Okay, sige
sina
na
yan?
po.
TPL Labandera,
Tama na po.
TPL3.
Ano po ang ini-espouse nila na laban po sa inyong opinion?
Eto po, sa akin po, tulad nung first hearing po, hindi ako nakarating dahil ako po ay nasa ibang bansa. Dumating na po ako ng hapon. And then, kung ano-ano na po yung mga pinagsasabi at pati yung itsura ko, kung ano-anong sinabi nila na kesyo, kung ano-ano pong hindi maganda. And hindi ko na rin naman po pinatulan, pero yun nga po, no to bullies, di ba? Parang, just because hindi po tayo kumikibo, yun, kung ano-ano na nga yung pinagsasabi sa kanilang mga FB pages. Sana nga rin po, napatawag din sila dito at nang matanong nyo rin po ang kanilang mga opinion tungkol sa usaping fake news.
Thank you.
Salamat din po, Your Honor.
Sinabi mo kanina sa opening statement mo, if I remember right, wala kang kinikilingan. You're not pro BBM or Marcos. You're not pro Duterte. Tama po.
Tama po, Your Honor. I'm pro good governance. But like I said, also in my statement, I support and I respect yung pong mga pinuno at lahat ng Pilipino na sumusuporta sa aking advokasya, which is good governance nga po at free speech.
Good governance.
Yes
Pero
po.
dapat po bang isali rin yung paninira ng mga individual na tao? If
Ano
you are
po
pro-governance,
Ano po yung tanong po doon, Your Honor?
dapat po ba ilalagay sa inyong mga post yung paninira?
Hindi ko po masyadong makuha po yung maintindihan po yung tanong. Baka mali po ang maisigot ko.
Hindi po ba question na po kayo kanina ni Honorable Abante? Nag-apologize nga po kayo eh. 3 beses. At paiyak-iyak pa po kayo.
Yes, Your Honor. Napapaiyak po talaga ako sa...
And then you claim na wala kang kinikilingan. But from your post, meron kang kinikilingan.
Your Honor,
May bias ka rin na pinapakita. Kasi nandito sa akin ang listahan ng mga post mo, yo.
sige po. Your Honor, just let me know kung pwede na po akong magsalita. Pwede na po, Your Honor,
Yes, you have
sumagot.
the floor.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Sabi ko po, ako ay pro-good governance. Hindi po ako pro-Marcos or anti-Marcos or or any politician. Ang sabi ko po, I'm a pro-good governance. And I also said in my statement that yes, I also have my biases. Diba? Sinabi ko po yon. Pero hindi po ako tumitira ng below the belt. I did not say na wala akong bias or wala akong kinikilingan. Obviously, tulad ng sabi ko, sinusuportahan ko ang mga pinuno, ang mga Pilipino na nagtataguyod ng good governance at free speech. So yes, may bias po ako. Kung sino po yung tingin ko na pinuno na nagtataguyod nito, yun po yung medyo bias po ako doon. Pasensya na po.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat din po, Your Honor.
Yeah. In one of your blogs, kasi hindi ka yata naka-attend, di po ba?
Yes, Your
Pero
Honor.
ipinost mo na, and I would like to quote, wait, did they not say that the hearing is meant to investigate their so-called pogo vloggers, narco vloggers, and fake news purveyors? If you're not one of those, why be there and allow yourselves to get insulted and unfairly labeled, accused by some dimwits whose obvious intention is to create a chilling effect? Now that you are here, Madam Reyes, did you feel this?
Again, sir? Did I feel?
Dito, yung mga sinabi mo sa blog mo that if you're not any of those, why be there and allow yourselves to get insulted and unfairly labeled or accused by some dimwits, whose obvious intention is to create a chilling effect?
Sir, Your Honor, that was my emotion at that time and my opinion. Again, that's what I felt.
Sino po yung mga dimwits na sinasabi mo?
Wala naman po akong pinapangalanan, sir.
Sino po ba ang pinatatamaan mo dito sa post mo na ito? May I say? May I ask pala? Ikaw naman, Iha.
Wala. Pasensya na po, sir, kung... Pero yun nga
Hindi mo naman sinasagot yung tanong ko eh. Did you feel na ikaw ay na-insult dito?
Yes, Your
You're
Honor.
unfairly labeled or accused
Yes.
by some dimwits?
Your Honor, yes, I felt insulted. Naapektuhan po talaga din yung aming mga...
Sino po ang nag-insulto sa inyo?
Your Honor, kung makikita niyo po yung mga balita ngayon...
Hindi,
ang aming
sino nga nag-insulto sa inyo ngayong araw na ito? Kasi yun ang sinasabi mo dahil dapat nga hindi
Your
kayo
Honor?
attend ng hearing na ito dahil you will allow yourselves to get insulted and unfairly labeled.
Your Honor, pwede na pong sumagot. Sa tanong niyo po kung sinong nang insulto sa akin, ayoko pong sabihin
ngayong araw
insulto,
na ito
pero
dito.
po, ngayon pong araw na to, natawag po ako ng tanga.
Sino
Hindi
pong
po ba?
tumawag sa inyo na tanga?
No.
Mr. Chairman.
For the information of everyone, that word was already stricken off the record.
Sinagot ko lang po, Your Honor, yung
tinanggal
tanong
na po
niya.
natin yun sa minutes.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Sinagot ko lang po yung tanong ni Your Honor, Congressman Acop, kasi nga tinanong niya kung sino pong nang insulto sa akin. Ayokong isiping insulto po yan, pero kasi naniniwala ako na yung mga ganyang salita ay gawa din lang ng galit niya siguro. Kaya okay lang. Ang gusto ko lang po sigurong, ang masakit lang kasi, anyway, yun lang po yung sagot ko dun sa tanong niya na
Pero
yun po,
sinabi
tanga.
mo rin na yung magtatanong sa iyo o mag-insult sa iyo isang dimwit. Di po ba? Inunahan mo na eh. Doon sa vlog mo. Di ba? Yes. It's there in your blog.
It is what it is, sir, and yun nga po, that's my...
Ikaw ang nauna,
Yeah.
hindi yung kwan. Kasi, inuna mo nang sinabi na kung a-attend yung mga vloggers, they will be labeled or accused by some dimwits.
Your Honor, kung titignan niyo po ay yung mga bali-balita ngayon, naidikit na po yung mga pangalan namin sa mga salitang fake news blogger, fake news purveyor, narco bloggers, pogo bloggers, nakadikit na po yon. In fact, yung latest kagabi, sinabi na ikukulong na yung mga parang 11 bloggers. Kami po yon. I-detain.
Sino po yung...
Nasa balita po, Your Honor.
Kanino pong balita?
Marami po. Pwede po nating makita mamaya, pero may mga bali-balita na po. Mga mainstream media po ang nagbalita at idinikit na po yung pangalan namin directly sa mga salitang yan. And nakakalungkot po kasi syempre hindi naman po namin ma-explain yung mga sarili
Miss
namin sa
MJ,
lahat.
can I cut you off?
Yes, Your Honor.
May we know yung sinasabi mong nasa balita? Pwede mo kang pakita sa amin dito?
Opo, Your Honor.
Saan balita na ikukulong kayo? Sino nagbalita? You mentioned mainstream, so that would be GMA, ABS-CBN.
Yes.
Pwede mong ipakita rito,
mainstream
preba
po.
na merong nagpalabas ang mga mainstream media na ikukulong kayo? Because
Wait
I have
lang,
not
Your
heard
Honor.
of any
Meron po.
mainstream media saying about this supposedly na pagkulong sa inyo. Pwede mo bang ipapakita rito yung prueba, ebidensya, proof that this mainstream media has been saying na ikukulong kayo?
Yes, Your Honor. Pwede kong ipakita sa inyo mamaya kung gusto niyo po. Kasi na-screenshot ko
Sinong
naman
mainstream
po yan.
media ba yung sinasabi mo?
Can you just give me Radyo Mindanao Network? At saka meron pa marami pa akong nabasa kasi pino-forward nga po sa amin, sir, yung mga ganyan.
Baka hindi naman mainstream media yon. Because this is also social media personalities.
meron din, oo.
I don't think
No, sir,
if
mainstream
it is a legitimate media outlet,
It is, Your
if it is a
Honor.
mainstream media, these are legit people. I don't think they will make irresponsible statements such as that.
Mr. Chairman.
Yun nga po, Your Honor.
Yes, Representative Baduano.
Anyway, with due respect to the statement made by Ms. Kiambao, ma'am, ganito kasi yan eh. Today's hearing will prove that indeed, if it is true, no? At saka dokumentado po yung sinasabi mo, na kahapon o kagabi, may maganong report, it will be proven that it is not correct at it is not true. Kasi, hindi naman kayo kinontempt unless in this hearing, you will violate our internal rules. Di ba? Now, hindi namin problema yun, ma'am, kung may ganon. Kasi you were invited for the past several invitations. That's why you were issued as a pena ad testificandum. Ay siguro ano mang media yan, baka interpretation nila, pag wala kayo dito, makukontempt talaga kayo. Now, ma'am, second, ma'am, yung sinasabi mo ngayon, yung news ngayon, you're now in the news. Okay?
Yes, and yesterday and
now,
today, yes.
And then, with regards to this hearing, nasa news kamo, and you were accused of being sa fake news, etc., etc. Ma'am, remember, you apologized 4 times on those issues. Na question sa iyo, and you apologize. And that's on record. Now, if it is true or not, and how it was delivered in social media or any media outlet, ay titingnan natin. But ma'am, sabi ko na nga, you were apologetic for the 4 questions that were issues that was raised against you. Di ba? Now, kaya dalawang issue dito. Question of contempt. Hindi naman kayo siniting contempt. Now, that will be the question of that media outlet's credibility kung ba't nila ni-report na makukontempt kayo, na hindi naman kayo makontempt. Sabi ko nga, hindi kayo makukontempt today unless otherwise. You will violate the internal rules of this committee. Malinaw po yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Diba? Well, in fact, itong hearing ngayon will prove that indeed you attended this hearing, and I'm very thankful for that. Kaya Tony Trexie, I'm very thankful for attending this hearing. But ma'am, ang sinasabi ko lang, yung mga news kagabi na iko-contempt kayo, now, ipoprove natin na hindi kayo na-contempt.
Yes,
diba?
Your Honor.
But question of fake news, question of you're telling something in your blogs, 4 na issue yun. Well, in fact, kinount talaga ni Chairman Abante, you apologize on those blogs that you have made.
Your Honor, yes,
Ganun na
Your
po,
Honor.
that's on record.
Your Honor, I was just reacting po doon or responding doon po sa tanong ni Congressman Acop. Hindi ko po sinasabi at ina-assume na ganun po yung gagawin ninyo. Nirelay ko lang po sa inyo yung mga balita na kumakalat at kung paanong ang aming mga pangalan ay nasisira. Hindi po ibig sabihin na dahil sa inyo, kundi dahil dito sa mga nire-report ng mainstream or ng social media about us na nakakasira. Those are fake news.
Ma'am,
po ba?
that's why, ma'am, on the other hand, because you're attending this hearing, it only proves that you were not cited in contempt. Di ba?
Yes, and
you are exceptionated doon sa issue na pinalabas nila last night ba yun or the other day. Pero ngayon, yung lumalabas ngayon, again, I would just like to reiterate, yung lumalabas ngayon na fake news ka or etc. whatever, it was proven dito because you apologize. Now, it's up to them how to write the news or the item or whatever in their social media account. Bala sila. But ang sinasabi ko lang po, we are basing all based on facts dito. Well, in fact, yung reklamo mo kanina na parang na-insulto ka, sabi nga ni Chairman, I was the one who moved. Diba, to strike out the unparliamentary statement made by my fellow colleague, my fellow chair sa Quadcom. Kaya gusto namin ipakita rin dito na we are fair here, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Chairman.
Again, sinagot ko lang po yung tanong. Hindi ko po gustong i-bring up ulit yung salitang yon sa akin, pero sinagot ko lang po ang tanong. Maraming salamat po.
Representative Acop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I go to Madam Crisette Chu?
Yes, sir.
Is he still, are you
Yes,
still
sir.
around?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Yes. Narinig ko po yung pagtatanong sa inyo ni Honorable Benny Abante. Tinanong ako po kayo kung sino yung mga congressmen na may mga anak o nakuan na nag-aaral kung saan-saan sa abroad. Di po ba?
Yes, sir. Nagtanong kanina.
Did you learn a lesson from that?
Yes, sir. That the next time I say that, I should have the courage to follow up with the actual names if I have the courage to name them.
Okay. I would like to inform you, Madam Chu,
Yes,
na
sir.
hindi po ako isa sa mga congressmen na binabanggit mo.
Sir, I know because that congressman is not here.
I beg your pardon?
Sir, I know, sir, because the congressman that I was referring to, it was based on the news, sir, and that
Hindi,
congressman...
kasi ang sabi mo kasi, mga congressman. That's why I was asking that question. Did you learn anything from the interpellation of the Honorable Abante? And I'll tell you if you do not know. Sinasabi ko lang
Yes,
na
sir.
hindi po ako isa sa mga binabanggit mo na yun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At yung mga
yes, sir.
anak ko, hindi nag-aral sa abroad, nandito po sila lahat nagtatrabaho and they are good citizens of this country.
Yes, sir. Good for you, sir.
Hindi. Huwag mong good for you. It's my job as the father.
No, no, sir. I did not mean it
As I expect that
disrespectfully,
you should
sir.
also, if ever you have children, you should train your children to become good citizens of this country.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I did not mean it disrespectfully. That's not my intention. I apologize if...
Now, the lesson I would like to give to you is that you should, whenever you come up with your post, you should not generalize. Kasi mga congressmen, nilalahat mo, iha.
That was not my intention, sir. I do not...
Okay,
I did
why
not
did you
mean-
write it?
I did not...
Kaya nga sinasabi ko, ang lesson learned mo dapat dito, huwag ka nang mag-generalize sa mga post mo.
Yes,
Kasi
sir.
hindi
I
ka nga
will be
makasagot
more
kanina. Kung
specific
tinanong ka
next
ni,
time,
nung
sir.
tinanong ka ni Honorable Abante, you name the congressman.
Yes, sir. You're right, sir. I will be specific if I do have issues with...
And for
certain
the
people.
other
I'm sorry,
bloggers.
sir, for if you felt that I was alluding to generally.
To tell you frankly, I felt insulted. Kasi you're referring to me also, mga congressmen.
I understand, sir.
Di ba? Ngayon, sa mga vloggers, kung titingnan ko, masyado kayong mga judgmental eh. That's one thing you should learn. Huwag po kayong maging judgmental. And I don't think you have the right to judge others. Di po ba? And the other thing that you forgot is that when you come up with your post, if you come up with informations, you did not exercise due diligence. Wala po kayong fact-checking kung totoo yung mga nire-report ninyo. Yun po yung aking observation kasi sa mga post na naharap sa amin. That is why nagkakaroon na tayo ng polarization. And that is one of the ill effects of fake news. Maski na nga yung national sovereignty natin, nahahati na tayo eh. I hope this, you people are engaged in this kind of business, you will realize na dapat, hindi last hearing, tinanong ko nga yung mga nag-attend, ano po ba ang advantage ng fake news? Wala naman sumagot sa akin. Baka ngayon, meron kayong sasagot sa akin. Ano po ang advantage ng fake news para sa ating sosyedad o para sa ating bansa? Meron po bang makakasagot sa akin nun?
Sir, may I?
Mr. Chair, sasagot daw?
Yes, please.
Hindi po kayang sagutin. Kailangan po natin ng definition ng fake news. Kasi po, merong fake news na time-bound. Totoo ngayon, bukas hindi na totoo. Katulad ni Galileo na nagsabi na heliocentric ang
excuse me, Mr. Chair.
solar system.
Madam, please
Opo.
indulge me. Ano po yung unang statement ninyo?
Baka po, para magkaintindihan, ay i-define po natin kung ano ang fake news.
Yung sumunod na statement.
Kasi minsan po, ang tinatawag na fake news ay time-bound. Posibleng totoo ngayon, bukas hindi na totoo. Katulad nga po ng heliocentric versus the geocentric solar system. Naparusahan po si Galileo. Pero 600 years later, nag-apologize ang simbahan. Dahil totoo pala siya.
So, what is the advantage of fake news?
No, sir, we can only answer that question if we define what fake news is.
And may I know, from your background, how would you define fake news?
Sir, that's one of my problems with the proposed legislation, is that it is very difficult to pin down a definition for fake news.
May I know,
Marami
may I
po
know
akong
what
binasa.
proposed legislation are you talking about?
Sir, Representative Ace Barber says that he proposes regulation, a regulatory framework for social media to combat fake news. And therefore, we have to define what fake news is.
So in other words, as far as this representation is concerned, wala pa akong nababasa na proposal because the proposed bill regarding fake news will come out after this hearing.
Yes, sir, but you're already asking us questions on fake news.
Yes, kaya nga, kasi that is why we're holding this para magkaroon po kami ng clearer understanding kung bakit ano ang fake news, ano yung ill effects ng fake news, ano ang advantages. That's why I'm asking, ano ba ang advantage ng fake news? Para we can balance it.
Sir, like I said, if we can have a working definition of what you call fake news, for instance, is clickbait first fake news, fake yung headline pero nasa body naman yung katotohanan. What about sarcasm, sir? Kasama po ba siya sa fake news? Paano kung jokes? Fake news din po ba yun? Gusto ko lang malaman para alam ko kung paparusahan niyo po kami, alam namin kung ano yung ginawa naming mali.
Wala pang mali kasi wala pa kayong binaviolate except yung cybercrime law. Di po ba?
Opo.
And the other criminal laws which are controlling insofar as this issue is concerned. Di po ba?
Andiyan na rin po ako, pero para naiintindihan ko po na ito ay inquiry in aid of legislation. At pinuntirya na po ng mga kinatawan dito na may problema tayo sa fake news dahil nakakapanira. Pero sir, we're pointing out a wrong, but we don't know yet how we're going to define the wrong. And it is a basic tenet sa atin sa Ligang Batas na bahagi po ng bago maggawa ng regulasyon ay may notice tayo kung ano yung masama. Gayun din po sa ating pagdidiskurso dito, kasama po dapat ang isang working definition. Ano po ba ang tinatawag natin na fake news? Baka kailangan din po ng diskurso doon.
When we come up with the proposed bill, there will be a definition of terms, as always. So
Maraming
fake
salamat
news
po.
there will be defined.
Maraming salamat po.
Yes, that's the protocol of this legislative body. Whenever we come up with bills, we have a portion of that bill which define the terms embodied in the proposed bill. So nandun, i-define namin. Don't you worry.
Salamat po.
Yes, because if ever there will be a proposed bill, it will still undergo technical working group, and maybe most of you would still be invited. So your opinions on the matter will be known by the legislators. So magkakaroon po ng definition. Would that allay your fears, Madam Angeles?
Yes, sir. Pero sana, ano lang po, ang request lang po, naiintindihan ko po na nagagalit kayo dun sa ibang napopost ng mga kasamahan ko.
Hindi po ako nagagalit, Madam Angeles. Kasi ang nagsasabi lang sa akin, yung mga anak ko, kung binabanatan po ako. Sila po ang mahilig magbasa. Ako, I'm too old already to read all those things.
Naiintindihan ko po, sir. Pasensya na po kasi bahagi rin po ng pagde-develop ng ating komunikasyon at yung bagong teknolohiya na tinatawag nating social media, pati po yung values nagde-develop din. Sana naiintindihan din po ninyo na bahagi din po ito ng kahit anong pagbabagong nangyayari. So,
pero kung yung means na pagbabago ay labag po sa batas, tama po ba yun? Attorney?
Sir po, pakiulit po.
Kung yung pagbabago na sinasabi po ninyo, kasama sa pagbabago, ay kung labag naman po sa batas.
Kasama po sa batas?
Hindi, labag po sa batas. At
Sir,
nakakasama doon sa mga citizens ng country na ito. Tama po ba yun?
Sir, maliwanag naman po pag may paglalabag sa batas na kailangan itong parusahan.
Sa tingin po ninyo, sa experience po nyo, kayo po ang kasama dyan sa business na yan, wala po bang paglalabag sa batas na nangyayari ngayon?
Wala po naman din akong sinasabi na walang paglalabag.
Hindi, tinatanong ko nga po kayo. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na sinabi ninyo binabato mo sa akin yung katanungan ko Kayo po ang nagpa-practice nito.
Sir?
Nababasa po ninyo yung mga blogs ng iba. Wala po ba, sa tingin ninyo, wala pong paglalabag sa batas?
Sir, kung sa fake news,
hindi, sagutin niyo po muna yung tanong ko.
Sir, may mga nakikita ko, yung iba ay libel, mayroon pong iba na dahil hindi po nila naiintindihan, mayroon posibleng mga unlawful utterances. Pero covered nga po siya ng batas. Pero ang pagkaintindi ko po sa diskurso natin ngayong araw na ito ay yung posibilidad na gawan natin ng batas ang tinatawag ninyong fake news.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is the purpose of this hearing also.
Yes, sir. Mayroon din naman po ng paglalabag. Pero dahil hindi pa po batas ang fake news, hindi siya paglalabag sa batas. Gayon pa man, naiintindihan ko, mayroong nasasaktan, mayroong nadadamage. At yun po dapat yata ang pinupuntiryan natin. Yung may masasaktan, yung may damage, at yung may mali siya. Kung titignan po natin ang batas, lahat po ng limitasyon sa kalayaan magsalita at magpahayag ay ukol doon sa mga may masasaktan, katulad ng bayan o kaya individual, o mayroong malaking possibility ng kaguluhan. At ginagawa ito ng may mali siya. So kung ito pong mga elemento na to ay present doon sa pagpapahayag ng fake news, definitely, sir, mayroon pong nangyayari niya ngayon.
Noted po.
Maraming salamat po.
I agree with you also on that point. Thank you. Mr. Chair, may I go to BIR? A while ago, BIR, natanong po kayo kung nag-comply kayo sa submission ng mga nagbabayad po ng taxes na nag-engage sa business na ito. Di po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And a while ago, if I remember it right, hindi pa kayo makapagbibigay ng mga payments that they made. Would that be correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. May I know why?
Your Honor, we are prohibited by Section 270 of the Tax Code, Your Honor.
And what does that state?
Your Honor, we are prohibited from divulging data based on the returns filed by the taxpayer, Your Honor.
It is also provided by the National Internal Revenue Code na meron kayong submission of pertinent information to Congress. Are you aware of that provision?
The exemption, Your Honor, of the 270?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, kaya nga, pwede kang mag-submit dito sa amin.
Yes, Your Honor. We are allowed to submit those documents, Your Honor, in an executive session, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya nga pinag-prepare namin because kami ang magsasabi kung we will get it in executive session.
Yes, actually, Your Honor, the documents are already being prepared. The thing is, it is quite difficult to segregate the social media influencers alone, Your Honor, from the other taxpayers, Your Honor, from those who are receiving compensation or income from, for example, digital market, Your Honor, from the sale in digital market. We have, as of now, Your Honor, a lump sum of the taxpayers, but we are in the process of segregating the social media influencers alone, Your Honor.
Yeah. And your circular about this was only made in 2021. Would that be correct?
What particular circular, Your Honor, may I...
Regarding payment of taxation for those indulged in this kind of industry?
Your Honor,
the bloggers?
Yes, Your Honor, 2021, Your Honor.
Yes, 2021. Kasi gusto namin na makita rin kung paano tinatax itong mga ito by the BIR. Kasi yun ang kasama sa question ko sa next hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Representative Acop. The last interpolator is Representative Paulo Ortega.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like the Honorable Romeo Acop, I will reserve some of my questions for the next hearing since karamihan po na tanong na. But additional manifestations na lang po, Mr. Chair. Siguro kanina when we got the names or the account names or aliases of our vloggers, baka pwede rin pong malaman kung meron pa silang mga ibang accounts saka additional na mini-maintain na accounts. Then I would like to manifest also, Mr. Chair, na we invite the other victims of fake news like our friends from the media, our friends from the showbiz industry, and other members from government as well, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Before we suspend the hearing, I have some matters to discuss. First and foremost, we would like to inform everyone that the tentative date for the next hearing will be on April 8. During the last hearing, we have issued, or rather, this committee has issued show cause orders to 34 resource persons, mostly social media personalities. Out of 34 that we have invited, 10 are present today and 24 did not attend. These are the following: Mr. Alex Destor, Alan Troy Rolando Sasot, Alvin Montero, Claire Eden Contreras, Claro Ganak, Cyrus Preglo, Darwin Salceda, Edwin Hamora, Elmer Hugalbot, Ernesto Abinis Jr., Attorney Glenn Chong, Jeffrey Almendra Celis, Jeffrey Cruz, Joe Smith Medina, Jonathan Morales, Julius Milanosi Maui, Kester Ramon Balibalos Tan, Lord Byron Cristobal, Lorraine Marie Badoy, Maria Florenda Espinilla, Maricar Serrano, Susan Batalla, Mary Catherine Binag, and Miss Vivian Zapata Rodriguez. So at this point, since we have already issued the cause order, this committee is now, since of your non-appearance, this committee now is compelled to issue a subpoena.
Mr. Chairman. Chairman.
Yes, Representative.
Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully move to issue a subpoena ad testificandum for all those mentioned named by the Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Any objection? Therefore, the chair hereby, the motion is approved, and the chair hereby directs the committee secretary to issue the subpoena to the mentioned resource persons. We also issued, rather this committee also issued subpoena ad testificandum to 11 resource persons. Out of 11, 8 are present, and the following 3 resource persons did not attend: Ms. Lauren Marie Badoy, Mr. Jeffrey Almendra Celes, Mr. Alan Troy Rogando Sasot. So may we inform those mentioned that have been issued a subpoena that the subpoena is still in effect.
Mr. Chair, may I?
The next step after subpoenas have been issued, if still the mentioned personalities will not attend the next hearing, the committee has no recourse but to issue a contempt order if they will not show on or if they do not attend on the next hearing tentatively scheduled on April 8. Yes, Attorney Cruz.
Sir, Ms. Lorraine Marie Badoy is out of the country. She sent me a copy of her ticket and a copy of her notice that she cannot make it today. However, I don't think it has been received by the Secretariat. May I be allowed to forward it to the
Yes,
Secretariat?
please submit the ticket or whatever document, but still, the subpoena is still in effect.
We will inform her, sir.
So therefore, I appeal to those personalities concerned to appear during the next hearing para po hindi na po natin may issue ang contempt order. If those, again, I reiterate, those personalities that have already received subpoenas, if they will not appear on the next hearing, this committee will be compelled to issue a contempt order.
One last, sir.
Yes,
Ms.
Tony Cruz.
Rogando Sasot is in China, and she attempted to join today, as discussed earlier, via Zoom. She cannot return to the country.
Chairman.
Whether she is in the country or not, all orders coming from this committee will still be in effect.
Chairman.
Representative Paduano.
Chairman, let it be clear to the resource persons, especially those not present today, with regards to the explanation relayed to you by Ms. Badoy. Ang malaga po dito, attorney, is the written explanation. Attached with is all the documents that will prove that indeed he was abroad, she was abroad, and at the same time, if the written explanation is valid. No, yun po. So, as of now, we will accept all those documents that you will submit to the Secretariat, but still, Ms. Badoy and Ms. Asot, or Mr. Asot? Sasot should make a written explanation and submit it to the committee before the next hearing po.
Thank you, sir.
And lastly, Mr. Chairman, just to remind everyone, resource persons, and that includes all those resource persons that are not present in today's hearing, and maybe they're monitoring this hearing, let me remind everyone that please don't force us to cite you in contempt, because under our rules, just to remind you, Section 11 of our internal rules, paragraph F, we will not allow discussions or attacking, insulting this committee hearing after the suspension of this hearing, because you will be in violation of Section 11, letter F of our internal rules. We will be forced to cite you in contempt for in violation of letter F, undue interference in this hearing po. Just be reminded po. Kasi we have already done that in my committee. One of the black timer in Cagayan, Bombo Radio Cagayan, was cited in contempt because after the hearing, he attacks the result of, and insulted the committee and the result of the hearing. Please be reminded po. Thank you.
If there will be any changes in the tentative schedule on April 8, we will issue notices to all concerned. Any motion?
Mr. Chair, may I move that we suspend the hearing of the issue? So move, Mr. Chair.
In behalf of the Tri-Committee, we'd like to thank everyone for your presence and your time. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. This hearing is now suspended.